It's no secret that the internet is fit to burst with the amount of strange and unexplained videos that surface every day. We become so numb to the norm created by these videos that nothing crawls under our skin like it used to. We search for that ever-diminishing high of being afraid, of being so dumbfounded by what's on screen that we question the limits of reality. Maybe I'm being too dramatic, but for me, these videos have become so mundane that I no longer get anything from them. I just sit in front of my computer resting my chin in the palm of my hand, just looking for a rush. Deep into the night, I watch the same scene playing out over and over. Grainy and poor quality videos capturing something slipping off into the woods or a spectral figure crossing between two doors. It's 2020. How are there no high quality pictures or footage of the things that used to scare us? It's almost like Bigfoot became privy to the advances of technology and got better at hiding. What's worse than not being scared was losing my wonder. I started realizing how fake so many of these videos were, and even the ones that were done well seemed easy enough to question their validity. So I began to doubt the existence of anything that used to keep me up those nights. Aliens, ghosts, monsters. If the videos are all fake in an age where everyone is streaming or has $800 cell phones, then maybe they just weren't real. Moving away from videos, I started transversing forums to see if anyone was feeling the way I was feeling. To see if anyone had something that could spark the light of creativity again. What was sparked was curiosity. Now and then on different sites, I would see mention of a website that contained unsettling content. Not the gory kind you would find on something like LiveLeak, but those that were extraordinary and unusual. Needless to say, I became hooked on the idea of finding this website. I would message anyone who made even a passing mention of it for details. No one even offered me information, only replying that if I kept looking for it, I'll find it eventually. I asked specifically if it was a dark web type thing, knowing that's a hub for a bunch of strange content. All the people I asked confirmed that it wasn't. It was on the surface. Somewhere, a website hosting a treasure trove of odd videos was waiting for me. I couldn't understand why no one would just link me to the site or describe the video. The best information I got, it's just a matter of chance. And that my chance was increased by actively seeking it out, and that's about all I could do. To find it, I had to look for it. Which sounds easy enough, but by God did it take forever. My Google search history must look absolutely manic. I would search for some strange keywords and then immediately dive into the later pages of the search. I figured a site like that wouldn't be sitting within the first few pages of results. I just remember being told that I would know I was in the right place when I got there. Days went by, and while I did stumble across several intriguing things, I always felt the sites weren't it. And then with sleep-deprived eyes and wary fingers, I found what I believed to be the website others were speaking about. It became clear pretty quickly why no one was able to directly link me to the site, as the URL remained blank. Even searching for the same term in Google failed to get me back to the site, like it had shifted its place after I found it. The page itself was blank as well, nothing but a large blank screen. Not knowing what to do, I moved my mouse to the empty URL and highlighted it to see if the text was hidden somehow. After highlighting the area, some text popped up in the URL space. It read, "Video," doing the only logical thing I could think of. I simply put the number 1 after the new URL text, and then a video began to occupy the once dark web page. It was a video of someone streaming. They didn't have any viewers, but they sat in the room talking to the camera. Nothing really seemed off about it. The room was well lit and the streamer didn't look anything out of average. I watched him talk about his day for a minute or two. Again, he didn't mention anything odd. Then there was a large bang off camera that caught his attention. He looked towards what I could only assume was his bedroom door. I could hear the click of the door opening, realizing he mentioned earlier that he lived alone. He looked visibly concerned, The hair on his head ruffled from the pressure of the door swinging open. His chest started to heave, looking at something off screen. His voice was quivering through chattering teeth. He repeated, "What the fuck?" over and over, like his brain was skipping. Starting to rise out of his chair, he started asking what the thing off camera was, screaming at the top of his lungs as he started backing up. Turning his head to the camera, I could see tears running down his cheeks. His eyes were distant, like they were broken or he couldn't come to terms with what he was seeing. And just there, at the climax, the stream ended and the webpage returned to darkness. I sat there for a moment looking at the dark screen. I played the video once again, trying to find something recognizable. Surely a clip like this would have spread around. It was just so weird. It seemed so genuine too. I'm not sure how I would react to certain situations, but the streamer looked like he had seen something no one ever expects to see. After collecting myself, I realized that I had found the high I was looking for. The video was just so bizarre and off-putting that my skin was starting to crawl, thinking of what the streamer might have just seen off camera. I found myself angry that the stream didn't continue long enough to get a look. But with my newfound source of horror, I started going through one video after another. I was afraid if I clicked off the site, I wouldn't be able to find it again, or that it would take days of searching again. I also sure as hell couldn't bookmark it. However, not all the videos were all that scary to me. A lot of the times they were just what looked like home videos. People doing average things. Although, in a way that unsettled me too. I felt like an outside observer and was uncomfortable. Sometimes, I would notice little things in the background of these videos though. So all of them may have something going on and I just failed to notice. Like with video 26, it was just a guy in his late teens sitting on his bed practicing guitar. He was a beginner and the odd twangs of misplaying notes filled my room. With the guy sitting on the bed, I could see the window behind him. For a brief moment, no more than a few frames, it seems like the bright blue sky shifts deep green and then back to blue. I barely picked up on it. And maybe it's nothing, but it was an oddity in the video nonetheless, so it made me a little more observant of the backgrounds. Some videos, however, it was all too clear what I was supposed to be looking at. Suddenly went out of the window on videos like video 14. It was a dark room, with one source of buzzing light casting down on a man laying on a concrete floor. He was shirtless and panting heavily. I could see dark spots under him where sweats or tears had strained on the grey floor. Hunched over on his knees and forearms, he kept telling someone off camera that he told them everything he knew. This went on for a moment, and then the man said, "Please, don't do it again." Just as the sentence dissipated into the air, I saw his right arm starting to lift up and then violently jerk backwards. The sounds of bones cracking and the man's shrill cry of pain caused me to nearly fall out of my chair. The joint of his shoulders and elbow completely failed him, and the back of his hand slapped his spine. I know some people can do that, but judging by the anguish on his face, I don't think he was one of them. He collapsed to the floor, no longer screaming. I could see his joints bulging underneath his skin as his body was dragged off screen. The whole time, I watched him. Nothing made contact with this person. The ease of which his arm bent the wrong way. It was so swift with no hesitation, like someone just willed it to be. The video ended, but I could still hear screaming in my ear. Luckily, some of the more mundane videos played after that, like the site was giving me a break. Some of the videos were just bizarre, but there were some that stands out that caused me to stop and think. For example, video 79. Yes, I watched a lot of them. They were so interesting and I just couldn't help myself.